welcome to Conversations powered by Just Talk. Will Edwards, and we have Lisa Listen in the house.
Lisa's in the house.
Yes, we were talking about the coach and the comedian.
Oh, who's
Everybody
the comedian?
Well, they know I'm not very funny. So it's going to have to be you.
Yeah, that wouldn't be me.
All right. I'll take the blame on that one.
So you'll take the blame
I'll take the blame on that one.
Well, welcome back. We are doing very well.
It's been too long.
It has been too long. Yes, you have been away from the podcast for too long.
It's been too long.
So tell them about your accolades. You are doing so many things. Just give us a quick few ones.
I'm doing the Will Edwards Show, which is Vegas' only late-night variety talk show right now. It's still happening.
Okay.
And we're in the process of reformatting. We're moving to a different studio soon. So that's fun. We Funny Comedy Show, second Friday of every month at Inspire, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont, and Las Vegas Boulevard, which I love. And then I just started... What? We styling.
So
and consulting.
Words, I know what the problem is. We don't have enough to do. That's why we talk about the comedian and the coach.
And don't forget the Pocket Square.
Yeah, Squareware by Will Edwards.
Right?
Yeah. I do that as well.
Yeah, so you got, what do you mean, you lazy
so
bum?
You lazy
you got
lima
one
bean.
job. You got 9 jobs, man.
You bring it back. What about you, sir? Well, you got some stuff going on.
A few things going on. Professional speaker.
Nice.
Training. Coaching, keynotes, workshops, development.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Are you talking about me?
The coach.
Yes.
But we aren't going to be talking about you because you're going to be in my studio so that we can get you straightened out. But that along with author and podcaster, that's what I'm up to at Just Talk. And then Lisa, listen, what do you got?
Yeah, what you got going on, girl?
Oh, well, VP of Sales and Marketing for Just Talk, success coach, and podcaster.
Nice.
And I got to be sitting in as the third wheel on your show today. I feel so blessed, guys.
Yeah, third wheel.
Thank
How
you.
about the wheel that spins everything
exactly,
around us,
the wheel that keeps us going.
Well, whatever. So she's part comedian, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Comedian.
She's the front wheel. We're the back 2 wheels.
Yeah. So let's get this game started.
Are we the trike?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's get this party started. Let's talk about our topic today, because we're going to have a lot of fun with this, and there's not going to be enough time, but we're going to do our very best.
Yes.
Here it is, 10 tips using humor to beat stress. And we found this. We did a little research on the internet, like a lot of us do.
Yep.
And we ran across this Andrew Tarvin, and he had some really good things to say about this. We liked it. So we're going to use the power of his material and share some concepts.
And we did get his permission to use it as well.
Nice. Well, that's important.
Hopefully he's tuning in.
That's good.
And even if he isn't, he can always, it's evergreen. He can see it later.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about it.
Let's go.
Start with the first. Well, you have some stats or something you want to share with us. On top of this research, you did some other research. What kind of stats on humor do you have?
Well, it says, in a world where 83% of Americans feel stressed at work, 55% of Americans are unsatisfied with their job, 47% of Americans struggle to stay happy, something has to change.
So you're telling me that 17% of the people that have jobs or build businesses don't feel stress at work, but 83 do.
But let me just tell you one final piece.
Yes.
This is what blew my mind. What's at stake? Close to $1 trillion is lost in productivity and increased costs.
How much?
Well,
wow, trillion.
That's a big number. $1 trillion.
I'm just saying.
I'd love to see, and I believe you, and I'm sure the research is fine, but I'd love to see the back research on how they got at the trillion, wouldn't you?
That's a lot.
But that, even
look at it. If you take the number of people and whatever jobs they are and how they're unhappy, then you like, okay, well, what are we paying these people?
Yeah, of course, sure. So that's the stats behind it. But think about this: even if you take it on a personal perspective, think about the times that you have been on a job or in the workforce and have been incredibly unhappy and stressed and freaked out and scared. How well did you work when you were under that kind of a condition? No, but how well did you work?
Not well at all.
No.
It wasn't even, listen, it wasn't even that you weren't working well. You decided not to work well because you're unhappy.
Well, but
okay, fair enough. You made a choice.
I don't even think it's that you don't decide. I think it's that you can't because you're so messed up in the mind.
I think it could be both. You could decide, or you could also say to yourself, I'm feeling this. I don't know what to do about this. I'm feeling this. I don't know what to do about this. And when you can get stuck in that, I'm feeling this. I don't know what to do about this. And that could permeate a whole lot of hours out of the day. In the meanwhile, that's production time that's not happening.
I agree.
Okay, here, this other piece.
There's more?
The other
simply
piece.
put, the current way of working isn't working. Each year, U.S. companies lose an estimated $300 billion due to stressed workers, $500 billion due to disengaged employees, and $11 billion due to employee turnover.
You know, that is huge. I talked to a client today, an incredible client that's been on the program for going on 7 years now, and he says something to me. He says, while I'm on the job at an executive level, he says, when you really help the person become a better person, you help the executive become a better executive.
That's it.
So it's about helping the whole person, not just the person at work.
Right. Thank you, because I was going to say at home.
Exactly.
Personally, professionally.
Wow. So this is cool. So let's jump into the 10 points that we're going to learn from Andrew. Talk to me.
Well, there's 10 tips. We're going to start with tip 10.
Okay.
Tip number 10.
We'll count down to number 1. The tip number 10 is humor beats stress. What do either one of you have to add to that?
You go first, Will.
Well, I do stand-up comedy, so
and you do it well.
Well, thank you very much.
You do.
And I created and host a We Funny comedy show. And here's the deal. It speaks for itself.
Humor
to some degree.
Stress. Why? Just forget about stats and all that.
I mean, you're talking about just if you're laughing or you're enjoying something, you're lighthearted. There's nothing that's making you feel like, oh, I'm being crushed by something. It just opens you up to something.
The endorphins that it releases.
There's a whole different, Lisa's on it, there's a whole different chemical that is reduced from laughter and amusement and jolly and fair than the same chemical that's reduced from stress.
I need some chemicals.
Exactly.
I need them now.
Some laughter,
I need some chemicals right now.
Mr. Comedian, produce some laughter, would you?
Forget about we funny, you funny.
You want it. Come on, move
it. Well, because of just the biology difference between what's happening when you're releasing those kind of hormones from being elated and in a great mood and a great space and what it does to the body and the mind, the soul, versus what's happening when you're hanging around with a dark cloud. There's a chemical biology thing that's happening that's helping you go in either direction. And
I think it turns into a physicality as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It feels like you can't breathe. When you're stressed, you can't breathe, you can't move, you're in this little box.
You can't think.
You can't think.
And even if you don't know that it's coming across as strongly as you're mentioning here, other people do.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Well, and then paranoia sets in.
That's if it persists too long, I believe, then what happens, because if you don't get it under control and it persists, you're afraid you're like, am I stuck?
Well, the inner critic, the self-talk inside your head, you're like, oh my God, they're watching me. Are they watching me? Did I do that right? Did I do that wrong?
It's funny because you say that because you're not just stressed about your job. Now you're stressed about whether other people think that you're stressed. And, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what
so
I'm saying.
it's like this rotating like craziness of stress.
Right, and that's where she's talking about that it becomes like paranoia. You start getting paranoid about it.
Without a doubt.
I totally agree.
Okay, you ready for number 9?
Yes.
Humor improves health.
I totally believe in that.
Go.
There's a book out there called Anatomy of an Illness.
Mm-hmm.
And Norman Cousins was the one that wrote that book. And he basically, along with doctors, after ran into some snags on a very serious illness, began to heal himself through laughter. It was laughter therapy that he took himself through to heal himself through a very critical disease.
Well, even if you watch The Secret.
Yes.
There was a lady that had cancer, and they watched comedies back to back to back to back and cured herself of the dis-ease in her body.
I have a friend of mine who does she does an online book called Heal.
Yeah.
And it stands for Health, Education, and Laughter.
Nice.
Her name is Rain Thomas.
Nice.
And she's been on the Will Edwards Show a few times. We've become very good friends. And, it really comes down to that, because when you're laughing and you're enjoying yourself, everything else goes.
Yeah.
It really does. It really does. And it changes the anatomy. That's why they called it Anatomy of an Illness. And this, in fact, let me read this really quickly.
Sure.
Norman Cousins is a senior lecturer at the School of Medicine, University of California at Los Angeles, UCLA, and a consulting editor of Man and Medicine. This is so cool. Check this out. Mm-hmm. It says, I'm going to bring this up so I can see it a little better. Anatomy of an Illness is the story of Norman Cousins and his successive fight against a crippling disease. It is the story of a partnership between a physician and a patient in beating back the odds. The doctor's genius and genesis lay in helping the patient to use his or her power, laughter, courage, and tenacity.
Sure.
The patient's talent was in mobilizing his body's own natural healing resources, improving what powerful weapon all the positive emotions can be in the war against disease. I love that.
Well, you know, the other thing, too, is that Rain Thomas is, she's a cancer survivor.
Okay.
And the funniest lady, one of the funniest ladies you ever wanted, just naturally funny, fun, silly, just so out there. You could see why she's a survivor.
Don't you think that a lot of comedians have struggled through life and they use comedy to express themselves?
There's a lot of comedians that have a lot of depression.
Yes.
Or let's call it baggage, because it could be family issues, it could be personal issues. But yeah, and if you notice, a lot of
I have no issues, by the way.
No issues that you know of.
No issues that I'm sharing.
But get this: think of some of the greats: Sam Kinison, Richard Pryor. I can go on and on.
You can go on and on.
Belushi,
Wayne Brady.
There's some incredible comedians. Robin Williams is at the top, right?
Wow.
And this guy was just a comedic genius.
Yes.
You cannot think that someone like a Robin Williams takes his own life because he's depressed when he's got so much raw talent when it comes to making us laugh. Like
that's a good point.
How could he not turn that on himself?
That's a good point.
Think about that. There's something broken in the whole system of recovery, that here's a person with that kind of talent and takes his life in such an unfortunate manner, such a talent that he made billions and billions of people laugh.
Yeah. I think it's awareness.
Feel better.
I think it's awareness.
Also, I think about this, and I don't want to pick on Robin Williams' family because I don't know that story, but who was watching Robin while he was watching us?
Yeah.
Who was taking care of Robin when he was taking care of all of us?
Good point.
A lot of times it's like the cobblestone maker's kids have no shoes or something like that.
Well, or the mechanic that's car doesn't run.
Yeah, it's broken down.
The hairstylist that doesn't fix their hair.
The baker. I don't know. I just wanted to be a part of this whole thing.
and the kitchen maker.
Or the comedian that doesn't realize, comedian that doesn't realize he might have issues.
Well, you know what? Trust me. Thanks. I do have issues. But you know what? You make a very, very good point, because I think that for me as a comedian, I know that you can get into your head because you're constantly thinking about what makes other people happy. What makes other people
and you're on it,
fun. And you're constantly doing that. Fortunately for me, I have a phenomenal wife who makes me laugh all the time, and I have great friends, including you guys, that make me laugh so much.
We realize
I don't get into that.
You deserve it as well,
and I appreciate that.
Yeah, who's coaching the coach?
Yeah,
who's
all right,
coaching
guys.
the coach?
All right, we have
Let's bring it. We got like 3 minutes.
We're on number 8.
Go.
Humor increases productivity.
I agree. You see how much stuff I got to do?
How much stuff you get done?
Exactly how much stuff I get done. It's all done in good humor.
We shopping, we funny, we living, we laughing.
We make more money. The
only thing that Will wait a minute, let me say it. Don't even say it. The only thing that Will won't say is we tired.
We tired. No, I won't say.
Will looks like this when he's tired. His eye just kind of drop to half a minute. But I'm looking at him going, we tired.
Never. It's true. Your productivity raises. You're enjoying yourself. You're having fun. There's that
your
saying.
Energy level rises.
But there's that saying that if you're doing something that you love, you never work a day in your life.
No, because even the challenging parts of it, the research part of the digging deep part of it, is going to be beneficial to those of which you serve.
Exactly.
And so typically people that really are passionate about what they do and they really know their purpose and their calling, they have to be forced to go to bed.
Which I want to make the next point, because you are incredibly creative, as are you, Will. It says humor develops creativity. You both have that streak in you, and please, one of you.
Humor does develop creativity, and I could see how one could drive the other as well. I also believe that when you don't take yourself so seriously, You get a I mean, be willing to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
I'll laugh at myself with you, in front of you. I laugh at myself by myself. Some of the goofiest things that I do, the mistakes I make.
I don't want to see that.
I was at an event recently. And I won't name names at all because I'm not going there. But I was explaining this big concept about a situation, and there were about 40 people in the room, and one of the women in this group that I was at, she protested, and she talked about the hairs on the back of her neck raising up, right? So I got into this she challenged me. So she took me on, so all right, I'm going to take her on in front of her staff. And I got into it, and the stuff got good, and I got so good I forgot where I was. And I said, and I called her, we'll call her Barbara. I said, when Barbara mentioned when the hairs on her back stood up, and one lady in the room said, did he just say the hairs on her back? And she sort of whispered it under her breath. I fell over, bent over, laughing at myself in the middle of an engagement. How do I know this woman has hair on her back? I meant to say the back of her neck.
Right. That's funny.
I think your creativity when I was in the tub this morning,
Too much information.
I am way too young for this conversation.
What's the next point?
Wait, let me just say this. The reason why listen. The reason why why humor develops creativity is because you need a certain type of space that allows creativity to happen. And when you're positive, when it's fun, when it's funny, you're open to that creativity.
Yeah.
Well,
so when you're in the bathtub, then you're pretty open to a lot of things. I wasn't there, so I can't say myself.
Let me borrow that list. Bad host. There we go. He's been beaten now.
I'll take it.
Next.
Okay. And
strengthened relationship. That's the next one. I love it.
What?
Sorry.
Okay.
He's getting ahead of himself.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Number 6, humor expands learning.
Good point.
Humor does expand learning. Tell me why. Why do you think that is?
You want more. You do more.
Because it releases the endorphins in your head to think differently.
I like that. I like the endorphin release. I also like the fact that you are in a space where you're more available, where you're not closed, where you're not rigid, where you're not with your own thoughts. You're open to new things and new instances. So I totally believe that could add a whole lot of value to your perspective.
We should do it like if this was a fortune cookie, and you say that, and then I say in the bathtub.
Oh, or in bed.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Too far.
Sorry. No, I'm back.
It does help with the learning because you're more willing, you're more open, you're more likely to be available.
I agree.
Hold still over there. You
I'm
got
sorry.
The mics dancing on the table and everything.
I'm excited.
Yeah, he couldn't help.
This is a great subject.
It is.
It's a great subject.
Okay.
Go.
Number 5, humor strengthens relationships.
I believe that it can strengthen relationships. Number 1, you get a better connection with the person. It's more in a lighter sense. Humor is a lighter space to live into. It's not dark and it's not heavy. It adds value to the relationship to laugh with one another and to find things that you have in common that you find that's humorous.
Sure,
lightens the space.
You know what else is interesting? Saying that, like there are certain things with my friends or with my family or even with you guys that we have inside jokes.
Oh yeah,
always
inside jokes.
Yes,
that is a relationship builder when you really think about it. When something happens and you look at each other and you say the thing, you just bust up.
Well, you do, and think about this: when you are in a decent space and you know you've got this great energy about you, and sense of humor. Levity, kindness, generosity, you want to share that.
Sure.
And when you want to share that with someone, you all have no trouble having people that want a piece of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's why it builds relationships. If you're someone that's darker or negative or pessimistic and always naysaying, you'll have a hard time getting people after a while to want to be around you.
Yeah.
Because you're bringing them where?
Down.
And humor brings things up.
Absolutely.
Right?
I
it
agree.
rises.
Yeah.
I think that's why it lends itself to a relationship.
Idea. It's good.
Okay. Number 4, humor creates opportunities.
I have a thought on that, but do you first? You have a thought on it?
Nope.
The reason why I believe, and I want you to weigh in on this, humor creates opportunity, is because as we're talking, humor leaves us feeling better, right?
Correct.
All of us want to be left feeling better. Why? because we deal with a lot of challenging, negative, oppressive, dark, problematic, whatever circumstances. Life's always bringing us challenges. So to get that life preserver of a relief, humor brings that, and people want to be around others that leave them feeling better.
Well, here's the other thing I'm going to share with you.
Why we keep asking him to come back?
I don't know. Who's a comedian, lady?
But that's why it creates opportunities, because people want to be around those that leave them feeling better.
Exactly, and I think it's about the environment that person. I mean, it's that energy that person is constantly pushing out, and then the environment in which they create, it draws people to those individuals, and then suddenly you find yourself, with a group of people around you. I'll be honest with you, and I'm not blowing my own horn, but, my show, we have some great people, and they've been with me for a very, very long time. And I work on that.
Yeah, you want to bring that camaraderie. Right. You want to bring that energy. So they want to keep those good people wanting to be a part of your program.
Take care of the people that take care of you.
Right. Exactly. And you need to be aware of that is what you're creating. It kind of goes back to you with your book of how you leave them feeling. You have to be aware
of how you leave others feeling.
You leave other people feeling.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is that you're doing, because then it opens up for future opportunities, right?
Absolutely.
Right. And you don't necessarily have to be a big joke teller or a professional comedian to be funny.
No.
Or even, you know what? You're funny even if you're not funny. Because if you say something to someone that's not funny,
sure,
and you laugh and go, it's funny to me, and you laugh, they're going to be laughing because you're laughing, even though to them you weren't funny.
And then it becomes contagious, and then everyone laughs.
Exactly.
Or it's because of how I look.
I think he's trying to send me a message on that one. I'm not sure.
He's laughing at me.
Next.
Okay, and so here we go with...
We're on number 3.
Thank you. Thanks, Will.
No worries.
Humor enhances leadership. Jess, since you are the leader in the community, why don't you speak on that?
I really do think the heater, Peter Packer. I really do think that not humor, but heater.
What's happening here?
I think that it truly can enhance leadership. And the reason why I say that is because depending on no matter what organization you're in, whether it's a big Fortune 500 or 100 company or a small business or your own business, whenever I believe you can possess a level of humor throughout the day at times, it lightens up a heavy load. Yeah. When you're dealing with heavy loads, which, I don't care where you work, there's different weights of load that hit, sometimes super, super heavy, sometimes moderate. But if you can enroll some humor into that atmosphere and for people to know that you have a range in your character and delivery and personality, it doesn't all have to be about pounding, working hard all the time.
Sure.
I think to salt and pepper the game and speckle humor in there at the right places can make people want to come to work and look forward to those moments when they happen.
Yeah.
And lighten it up. And then when you lighten up that space, they work even more efficiently and better and feel good about being there.
Instead of always, what have you done for me lately?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. What do you agree?
I agree. I recently had a manager. We're not working together right now, but he was very funny. We had a great time together, and every day I woke up and I wanted to do it.
Nice. Oh, now we got some tunes going on.
Look at that. Yeah. But I wanted to, salt and pepper. There it is. Salt and pepper, everybody.
We love you, Scott.
That's our director being on his A game. He's going, I think I heard salt and pepper.
Boom, there it is.
See, love it. I said salt and pepper. Humor, though. I said salt and pepper, and our director brought out salt and pepper.
Yes. I love it.
But they're related.
That's right.
I love it.
That's good.
Okay, we're getting down to number 2 and close to number 1.
No, but first, let's give a shout out to our director for that one.
Scott!
Yes, that was good.
Okay, number 2. Humor earns money. Well, does humor earn money?
Yes.
Talk to us.
Yes.
How much you get paid?
Yes.
How much money have you got?
Yes. Some.
Okay.
I don't want to tell people a lot because then they're gonna be like, "Hey, can I borrow $10?" No, you can't borrow $10.
Are you being modest?
I am being modest. No, you know what?
How does humor earn money? How does it?
How does it earn money? Yeah. Listen, you have to. Here's a great thing about this, right? If you take these tips that we're giving you right now and apply it to whatever it is that you're doing, you will see how it earns you money. Whether it is, I also sell shoes.
Okay.
Premium Shoes, Johnston and Murphy, ladies and gentlemen.
That's another one of his leading jobs.
Plug. Here we go.
So I use humor to sell.
Yeah.
Right.
I use
to be someone that's more inviting.
More inviting, open up to people. People want to open up. They want to connect. They want to buy more because they're having such a great time.
They feel good about the experience.
And the experience, exactly. And the experience is great. So you earn more money as a result of that.
It's an edutainment moment.
It is.
Right? You're educating and entertaining at the same time.
Exactly. That's a good point, actually. Thank you.
That's
a great point. I didn't think of it that way, but thank you.
There's a thing with professional speakers, what they say is, when you're a professional speaker, whether you're doing a keynote or workshop or training, whatever, you do not have to use humor in any of your programs unless you want to get paid.
There you go.
See, because it lights up those experiences because you tell a story, you make a point. You tell a story, you make a point.
Well, everything that we've been talking about leads up to this point. You know, what's happening in your brain, the endorphins, the environment that you're in. Now you're feeling a little lighter, a little open to whatever an individual is communicating to you.
Right.
And if you're speaking, they're ready.
Right, but let's say you're speaking for 8 hours. Say you're speaking to one group for 8 hours. You better have some humor points in there.
You better.
Because if you don't, you will turn them off.
Some edutainment moments.
We've seen those moments when it wasn't.
Yes. It doesn't take long.
I'm not going to get to number one just yet, but I would like to tell people where they can find our show.
Yeah, they should.
Do it.
Tell them.
Okay, let's...
listen up out there.
There we go. iTunes. Please go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations. You may need to type in Just Talk. And Apple TV, Roku TV, Stitcher, Google TV, YouTube, RSS feed, Facebook, Twitter, and the Vegas Video Network.
Yes. That's cool. And I'd like to say who's coming up next week really quickly.
Please do.
Okay. Special guest will be Lisa.
Yo.
And we will be discussing triple your understanding about culture in business. Culture in business. That's going to be a big one.
Interesting.
Yes.
So good. So let's roll us down to that. We need a drum roll for number one.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, not last.
Number one.
Number one is humor begets happiness.
Wow.
Thank you, Andrew Tarvin, once again.
Frank, look at this guy. Boy, this Scott Whitney is in the house.
He is working, man.
Scott, do me a favor. Scott, put your face up on the screen. Put it up now. There he is. You're a sick man, Scott, but you're good.
Simmons
I love it. That was
that little tongue action.
He was like, "Ooh."
I love it.
So, yeah, it does beget happiness.
It's true.
Humor begets happiness. Because when you feel better, you do better. When you know better, you show better.
And you can inject that humor and happiness into your environment, and the people around you become happier.
It becomes infectious.
Exactly.
They want more of it.
Yep.
Because in all of our lives, we've got the peaks and valleys of life, and a lot of times people focus on the valleys more than they do on the peaks.
Why is it that people live from the place of lack instead
human nature? That's a whole nother
grateful
fact.
For what they have.
Why do people live from lack versus
what they have?
We need to do a program on that.
That is a good one.
That is a good program.
I think we have.
But we can do it again.
Okay.
Did we do it before?
We can do it again. But it does. Don't you agree that it does beget happiness, and it's sustainable, and you look forward to it. You look forward to creating it. You look forward to sharing it, and you look forward to leaving people in a place that we say. There's the best place we like to leave people feeling. Where is it, Will?
Right here.
We like to leave them feeling how? Oh, where you were at.
Okay, he's not getting it. He's being the blonde today.
Okay, he can't help it.
Let me take over.
He's a soul brother with blonde hair. So
we like to leave people. It's all about how you leave them feeling.
There it is.